Okay, so we'll continue with this tariff diagram. I'm going to hold this up again where we left off. So there we go. Now again, I'll repeat here. We had our original market, I'll move it a little bit, that had our consumer surplus here and our producer surplus here. And then along came the world price, which kind of distorted the market, really distorted the market in that it produced this low price and all of this consumer surplus, this massive amount. Wow, is that big? And then it left our domestic people only producing this much. Only these people on the supply curve are in. At anything up here, this price is just too low. So these are our only domestic producers. So our new consumer surplus is giant. Our new producer surplus is tiny. Okay, so that's what's going on now that we have free trade. What could be bad about that? Nothing. We like trade. We have more surplus value. Everything's great. But the producers don't like it. So they're going to come along and they're going to ask for a tariff. Now what a tariff is a tax on imports. It's a per unit tax, which means if you bring in a unit for $3 and there's a $2 tariff, that's going to make it $5. So it's going to raise the price just like we did with the per unit diagram. Now when I draw this in, it's going to be a big mess. Don't panic. I'm going to hold it up. But what you're going to see here is a PT, price tariff, above PW. And there it is. Now I've drawn it in black to make it really indelible. And what's happened is now the government put on this PT. Now at that higher price, we have many more domestic producers. So our new producer surplus has grown to this bigger area. It's still not what it was, but they're happier. Now notice our consumer surplus has shrunk. It's only this area now. Again, it was this whole giant thing, P world, no more. It's now just this area, that's it, okay? Now, what's going on with the quantities? Well, if you look at the quantities down here, you'll see now at the higher price, we have less being demanded. So now our QD with the tax, with the tariff, is less. Our domestics are providing this much. Again, that's on the supply curve, so they're providing this much. So the distance here now is our imports. Before it was this massive amount minus this small amount. Now it's this less demanded amount minus this. So what we've managed to do with the tariff is knock down how many foreign goods are brought in. We've also knocked down, though, our consumer surplus. Now, since it's a per unit tax, we also know there has to be a deadweight loss. It's a market distortion. So what we're going to do in the next video, the final one here, is we're going to take a look at where those deadweight losses are, and I'll draw them. Now, again, I'm going to hold this up just for another minute or two. Not really a minute. Take a look. All we've done is put in the P world real low, and now we put in a PT for tariff, and now that's distorted things a little bit, and that's what our graph looks like. All right.